On the one hand, it would be nice to see the Dodgers win another World Series, just because I've been a fan of theirs off and on for pretty much my entire life. But on the other hand, in the same year that You Know Who was talking about invading Canada and turning it into our 51st state, it'd be awful cool to see the Toronto Blue Jays win the World Series, just to stick it to him. Greetings, one and all, and welcome back to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. I would be forever grateful. So for those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, you might be aware of the fact that the section of my CD collection that has grown the most over the last few years has been my soundtracks. For some reason, I have gotten way back into soundtracks over the last few years, and it has grown probably doubled in size in the last 4 years. So yes, I've been having a lot of fun with soundtracks, listening to film scores. I'm not sure why. I mean, part of it has been my recent back in love with, yes, I can speak English, falling back in love with John Williams music. A couple of years ago, I did a John Williams week on my channel. Be sure and check that out if you appreciate the maestro. But I thought I would show you a handful of the soundtracks that I've acquired that were not part of thrift store crawls or the KRV and media sale or my Portland trip. This is kind of like all the rest of the soundtracks that I've acquired. And yes, this has been over the course of 3 or 4 months. I've acquired these. I didn't get these all at once, but all the same, I do kind of need to scale back my spending on that. I've gotten a little carried away over the last year or so, and so yeah, I need to kind of dial it back. As much as I absolutely love soundtracks, acquiring them, listening to them, and all that stuff. So these are not going to be in any particular order, certainly not in chronological order. They're kind of grouped by type of thing, I guess. But yes, I'm kind of grouping them like I do with my playlist videos and stuff. I try to have groups of stuff and segue from one type into the other. But these first few are some of the most recent purchases. So if anything, this is going in kind of reverse chronological order. But La La Land Records, which is a favorite soundtrack label of mine, they've had, and it's actually wrapping up in the next couple of days. I guess October 31st is the last day. They've had a $5 a piece sale on their DC Universe titles, mostly the animated series and animated movies, but a couple of the Arrowverse live-action TV series. They've got the stuff that they still have in stock has been on sale for $5 each, and so I decided to take advantage of a few of those. I got the soundtrack from The Flash, Season 1 of The Flash by Blake Neely, and this is actually a 2-disc set. Disc one, and then disc 2 here. So yeah, pretty good stuff. And I haven't listened to any of these TV ones yet, but and I've actually never. I think I may have watched one episode of The Flash, and I have not watched any episodes of this other show. But hey, when La La Land puts out a great product, really quality releases, and since they were $5 each, I had to get them. I'm sure I will eventually, being somewhat of a fan of superheroes, I'm sure I will eventually check out those series. But the other one I got is Supergirl. I've got season 1 here, and this is actually just a 1-disc release. And the music is also by Blake Neely for Supergirl, as well as Supergirl Season 2. So, yeah. I figure, why not add these to my collection? I'm something of a Superman fan, so I figure, why not add to the Cryptoverse, Kryptonian universe, with those titles as well. So, and while on the subject of La La Land Records, but I actually did not buy these from the La La Land website. One of them was actually sold out from La La Land directly, but it was available by way of a third-party sellers or third-party retail stores website. So I was able to get that still sealed at retail price, which I was happy for, because as soon as a lot of these soundtrack titles go out of print, the prices start climbing, and so it was going for probably twice as much anywhere else as I was able to find it on Screen Archives Entertainment. Actually, was the site that I found it for sale on. Website is screenarchives.com, in case you're wondering. But yes, the series in question is Cobra Kai. Yes, huge fan of the Karate Kid movies from back in my youth, but it took me forever to start watching Cobra Kai. I don't know why, but have really come to enjoy it over the years, or over the months actually that I've been watching it. I am about halfway through season 4 actually. So, and that was season 1, and here is season 2, and this is the one that was sold out originally, sold out on La La Land's website. I was able to find it on Screen Archives. So yeah, and then we have season 3, which is actually a 2-disc set, as opposed to the first 2 seasons, which were just 1 disc apiece. So yeah, fun series if you have not watched it, and if you're a fan of the Karate Kid movies, check out Cobra Kai. And then moving on to very briefly into song-based soundtracks. Found this one at House of Records a few months back, and I decided I just had to get it. It is the original song soundtrack from The Goonies. So yes, a huge fan of The Goonies. I've got the score by Dave Grusin. I've shown it to you in previous videos. But yes, it was very fun to have this. Of course, the Cyndi Lauper song, The Goonies Are Good Enough. And something else I realized about this, after I bought it actually, was there is a song by Joseph Williams, who right around the same time, 1985-ish, became the lead singer of Toto, but he is also the son of John Williams, the film composer. So a John Williams connection on this soundtrack. Yes, he contributes the song Save the Night, which I didn't realize until I read the track listing after I bought the CD. So, and this is actually a Japanese release, as you can tell by the Japanese text on the spine and the obi strip. It still had the obi strip, so very cool to have this. And then another song-based soundtrack, although this is it's a movie musical, one of the few movie musicals that I like. But I found the vinyl LP and its inner sleeve at House of Records on the freebie shelf. This was a couple of years ago, but the outer jacket was not with it, so it was kind of I undervalue things unless I have a complete package, which I guess is understandable. But anyway, ever since then, I've kind of been hoping to eventually pick up either a full set of the LP or the CD. And on fsmcds.com, Lucas Kendall's CD marketplace, he actually had one that was still sealed. We're talking Pete's Dragon, the original 1977 or 76 Disney movie, a favorite movie of mine from my childhood. I absolutely love the movie. You've got Helen Reddy, Jim Dale, Mickey Rooney, Red Buttons, and Shelley Winters are in the cast. But yes, a fun, cute movie with a bunch of fun songs on it. So yes, lots of fun with that soundtrack. I've been hoping to get that one for quite a while, and I was able to actually find it. Now we have another little series of CDs here. Varese Sarabande Records, which is the one of my favorite soundtrack labels. They've done, I don't think they're doing it anymore, but for a while they did a series of re-recordings of classic film scores that whose full scores, generally speaking, whose full scores were not available, in the original soundtrack recording form, just shorter album presentations. And one of those is the score from Superman, was put out before any of the expanded editions were put out, and they did a great job on that one. And so I've just decided to add a few to the series. And this is actually a trio of John Barry scores that were re-recorded. This one by Frederick Talgorn. Well, they were all performed by the Royal Scottish National Orchestra. This one conducted by Frederick Talgorn. This is Born Free, the classic 1960s, I believe, film, which I have never seen. I know I've got to see it. It is a classic movie that I really, and I'm very underserved, if that's the word, on the classic films that I've seen. I still haven't seen Gone with the Wind, or Citizen Kane, or or a bunch of others. But yeah, Born Free, that would be a great addition. And Matthew Joseph Peak does the cover paintings for these, which are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that cover. Isn't it beautiful? So yes, Born Free, conducted by Frederick Calgorn. And then we have conducted by Joel McNeely, who is a film composer in his own right. We have Out of Africa. And I do also have the original MCA soundtrack album of Out of Africa. And another beautiful cover painting by Matthew Joseph Peak. And this is, I believe, an expanded track listing from the original album presentation. But yes, very nice addition to my collection there. And then the final one in the trio is Somewhere in Time. And this is another one that I actually have the original album of, MCA album. And this one is conducted by John Debney, who is also a film and TV composer himself. And another cover painting by Matthew Joseph Peak. So it's one of the reasons I got these is just because of the beautiful cover art that they do for these. So yeah, nice little additions to my collection. And here's another one that is re-recordings, but they are actually and also performed by the Royal Scottish National Orchestra, like the John Barry ones I just showed you. But this is actually conducted by the guy who composed the scores, Jerry Goldsmith. Here we have a re-recording of Patton, with also featuring some selections from Tora Tora Tora. So there we go. And again, the cover is by Matthew Joseph Peak. So a much more portrait-like thing rather than the artistic landscape type of stuff from the other album covers. But yeah, just another addition to the Varese Sarabande re-recordings collection. And then we are in the Jerry Goldsmith section of my acquisitions here. Here we have Total Recall. This is the original soundtrack, the deluxe expanded version. Yes, we are done with the re-recordings. But yes, I had the original album version of Total Recall on cassette, and I might have had it on CD as well, way back in the old days before I reduced or pruned my soundtrack collection years ago. So, yeah, good thing. And that's another movie I have not seen yet. I need to see that one. Then another Jerry Goldsmith score, classic movie, Poltergeist. And yeah, this is, I think it was released in a shorter format before this. But yes, this is a re-release from the Turner Classic Movies Rhino label. So, yeah. And there is a more expanded version of this out. I just, this one was available at a very nice price, so I picked it up. So, yeah, very cool stuff. And a couple more Jerry Goldsmiths here. This other one was also picked up from the FSM CDs site. It was on sale for $8, $18. Baby, Secret of the Lost Legend. This was an early 90s. Oh no, 1985. Oh, an earlier movie than I thought it was. But yeah, kind of I guess, a precursor to Jurassic Park in a way. But yeah, nice to be expanding my Jerry Goldsmith collection to a degree here. And then another one, this is one of my most recent acquisitions, the soundtrack from Logan's Run, from the FSM label, which is the label that was run by Lucas Kendall, who now sells CDs on fsmcds.com. But yeah, very cool movie, very interesting, very retro futuristic. Of course, this was made in like the early 70s, no, mid 70s, 1976. I'm off on my years, but yeah, a good movie if you have not seen it. So yeah, very cool to have that one in my collection. And this one is one of the earliest acquired in this lot that I'm showing you here today. And it's another FSM Film Score Monthly label release, Time After Time. I had the original release on CD for a long time and had been hoping to find this one for quite a while. And it became available on fsmcds.com for a very good price. 6 months ago, maybe. So I had to snatch it up. It was one of my soundtrack grails that I had been hoping to find. And a great movie, a fun movie. If you have not seen it, Malcolm McDowell and David Warner, two of the great British cinema actors of the 70s and 80s. So yeah, fantastic movie. Take a quick drink here. And on to the second half of my acquisitions here. This was another one from one of my most recent purchases from fsmcds.com, the score from Die Hard by Michael Kamen. And yes, this was a limited edition, I believe. Limited to 3,000 copies. And yes, I was able to get it for like $18. So yeah, nice to have. I think I only have one other Michael Kamen score, which is from the first X-Men movie. So, but yes, always nice to have that one. And here we have James Horner. Oh, I guess this is my only James Horner in this whole lot. I know I've gotten other James Horner ones, but you saw those like in my Portland haul and stuff. But yeah, Battle Beyond the Stars, a classic sci-fi movie, and one of his first really, really great scores. This one I think predates, by 2 years, predates The Wrath of Khan. So yeah, this was probably his first really cool, a really decently high-profile film score, and a very, very good score at that. Yes, one of my favorite James Horner scores. Very nice to have that one. I've kind of been searching for that one for a while too. And this one is a bit, I don't know if it's a bit unusual. I believe that most of the score for this movie, that is on this album, was actually not used in the film. I think. I could be wrong. But anyway, we're talking The Outsiders. Yes, the Francis Ford Coppola movie scored by his father, Carmine Coppola. I absolutely love the cover art here. And I'm just sorry that it is not replicated on the actual CD case. Not that I don't like this photo. It's a cool cast photo, but yes, the painting there, and I'm not sure who did that painting, but yeah, I love the movie. I've loved the movie for a long, long time, and so it was nice to finally have the score. Yes, the soundtrack for the movie was mostly populated by songs from the era. So I don't know if, I'd have to do some research to find out exactly how much of the score was actually used in the final movie. But yeah, I wonder if this is actually a Matthew Joseph Peak, or maybe it's a Drew Struzan. I'll bet it's Drew Struzan, who we recently lost, by the way, who recently passed away. But yes, Drew Struzan was a master of the movie poster art. I think that's who did this. I'm not sure. It looks like a Drew Struzan painting. Moving on, we have, I believe, the one and only Danny Elfman title in today's video, Midnight Run. This was an action comedy with Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro. And I had the cassette of this long, long ago, before I really seriously started collecting CDs. Fun score, a bit more of a new wave instrumental rock type of score rather than the more symphonic scores that Danny Elfman has been known for lately. So yes, this was in that period of his when he was still. I'm not sure if Oingo Boingo was technically still a band when he did this score, but you can tell that in this early period he was still influenced by the rock stylings of his band Oingo Boingo, and slowly transitioned to the orchestral stuff like Batman and Spider-Man and so forth. Good score though. Then we have a couple of Bruce Broughton scores. Is it Broughton or Broughton? I'm under the belief that it is Broughton. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this one, I had a 2-disc set of this for a couple of years, probably 4 or 5 years. And they finally released earlier in 2025? Yeah, earlier this year. They released an expanded 3-disc set. We're talking Young Sherlock Holmes. Not a very successful movie. It was executive produced by Steven Spielberg, but I believe it was not quite as successful as the makers were hoping it would be. But an amazing score, a fantastic score, probably my favorite Bruce Broughton score. Yes, the main title is just absolutely beautiful. So yes, very, very happy to have that one. Nice remastered, crisp sound on that one. And here's another Bruce Broughton score that I had on cassette, kind of like a Midnight Run. I had on cassette for many, many years and had been hoping to eventually get it on CD. And this one was on eBay for $50, which is actually a good price for this one because it is kind of hard to find. Harry and the Hendersons. Yes, the 1985 movie, 1987 film, and this is a re-release by Entrada. This is actually the first time it was on CD. I think back when it was put out, even though it was 1987 and CDs were pretty much in the mainstream, they only put this out, the original soundtrack, out on LP and cassette. So yes, nice to have the CD. And yeah, the CD is just this nice kind of pastoral, almost Victorian, well, no, Victorian, I don't know. Beautiful main title for this. Again, one of my favorite Bruce Broughton compositions is the main title for Harry and Anderson. So yeah, very, very happy to have that one in my collection. And then we're moving on to a few Henry Mancini titles. And these are all actually releases, CD releases from Spain. Funny. I actually have one Henry Mancini. It's not actually a soundtrack album like these are. It's just one where he conducts into his orchestra that was put out in Spain. And so I'm kind of adding to my Henry Mancini Spanish CD releases collection with these. Here we have his classic score from Breakfast at Tiffany's. And this is one, I believe, on which John Williams performed piano. And there will be another one in this trio of soundtracks that he, I believe, performed piano on. And it would be this next one, Charade, another Mancini score. So yes, very happy to be building my Mancini collection. He is one whose film scores I've kind of been ignoring until now. I mean, I love his, of course, love his Pink Panther score and a lot of his main themes and songs that he's done. But his actual film scores, I've just kind of been ignoring. Shame on me, right? And the third in this trio of Mancini CDs is Hatari, and another great score Spanish CD release here. And yes, these were all still sealed, and I got them all from fsmcds.com, $5 a piece. Actually, or maybe one of them was $8 each. I can't remember. But yes, very cool to kind of start building my Henry Mancini score collection in earnest. No, he didn't score any of the Ernest movies. No, it's this next one, and here we are in the final 4 releases I'm going to show you. We are in the John Williams update portion of my video. Yes, can't do a soundtrack haul update without talking about John Williams, usually. But anyway, this one I've had on LP. Actually, I had on LP until recently. They had the LP on sale at House of Records, which was kind of an unusual thing because House of Records doesn't usually sell a lot of John Williams. At least they don't have them in stock. But anyway, and it was an unusual title for them to have even. So picked it up, enjoyed it. It was a little interesting, but when I saw that the CD was on sale, still sealed, for just $18, I think it was $15, $18, something like that, I decided I had to pick it up. It is John Williams' score for Images, the Robert Altman film, and in a way, this is more suitable for a CD release than vinyl release because it is a very avant-garde, very experimental score, has a lot of percussion and frightening noises and sound effects and stuff. So I think if you have any noise on the vinyl LP, it might kind of distract from the mood of the score or whatever, or the impact of the score. So I decided I would upgrade from the LP to the CD release since I had the opportunity to. So yeah, nice to have that on CD. And this is another one that I used to have a different version of, and was happy to see La La Land Records release a remastered re-release of it. Black Sunday. This was the other movie that John Williams did in 1977. Yes, he scored Star Wars and Close Encounters in 1977, as well as Black Sunday, a political thriller movie that I have not yet seen. I want to see it, but yeah, they released it earlier this year. Nice remastered with some expanded tracks. The original release was on Film Score Monthly, and so it's nice to have this version. Then we have a couple of 3 CD releases by John Williams, recent expansion and remasterings. Here we have, and this one I might have shown in a previous video. Apologies if any of the other ones I've shown were repeats, but I've decided, just throw this in with the video. We have The Patriot, the Mel Gibson movie historical epic. Very good movie, actually. Not a fan of Mel Gibson, the person. He's some things about him that are rather unsavory. But I have to say, strictly from the aspect of acting and film, his performance in the movie was good. So, and it was a good movie, so I would recommend watching it. But yes, this is an expansion from the original 1 CD release at the time of the movie to a nice 3 CD presentation by Entrada Records. So yes, very, very cool to have that added to my collection. And then finally we have Jaws. Yes, I had originally had the original MCA soundtrack album 1 disc, picked up the 2 disc set from Entrada that was released about 10 years ago. Was able to find that for a good price. It had been in and out of print for years, but found that a couple of years ago. But then they announced for the movie's 50th anniversary a 3 CD expansion and re-release. So I had to pick it up. And so yes, very, very nice to add all of these CDs to my collection. Only problem with all this is I'm running out of shelf space for my soundtrack collection. I'm thinking I'm going to separate the TV soundtracks from the film soundtracks. That would give me, I've got a free shelf to put the TV soundtracks on. That would give me more room to put film soundtracks in that section. So yes, I'm getting to the stage where I have to be kind of strategic about reshuffling and repositioning CDs. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you liked it. And before you go, drop me some feedback in the comment section. I'd love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to catch my future videos, and hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.